Guys, real quick before the video, just wanted to give a quick plug for my Instagram. I post all kinds of cool stuff there. If you're on Instagram, give me a follow, clash_with_ash. And hey, speaking of cool stuff, check this out in case you missed it. My man Kunis Satan made me an emo inside Clash Royale. What do you guys think? Does it look kind of accurate? Not too bad, right? It'd be pretty cool to see that in the game, but maybe I'm a little biased. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and on to the main video, which should be a really good one, or a bad one, depending on how you feel about which.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Hey guys, welcome to the main video. So today, we have a few things going on inside this video, so let me break down the video. But first, big shout out to Royale, who actually hosted the Moreno Cup 5. He allowed me to use this gameplay because this is the first time that I saw this deck, this Golem Witch deck, not Golem Night Witch, Golem Witch. And what we're gonna do is first show this replay. It was Morten using the deck. Since then, I saw the deck a few times in CRL China over the weekend. Just got done streaming that. And then I've started to see it on top ladder. So today, we're gonna watch this replay. But as we watch the replay, by the way, apologies for the quality. No audio on this very first replay and not in 1080, it's in 720. So I apologize for that. The quality will be back up to par in the next live matches because we have Monkees joining us. That's right, the 12-year-old Golem Phenom Monkees is going to be playing live at the top ladder using this deck as well. And then we'll conclude the video by yours truly playing the deck in the arena and seeing how we do with it. But first, let's talk about balance in the game, and let's just talk about Witch versus Night Witch. You'll see on the screen right now, you can see the comparison. Basically, Witch right now is 4, even verging on 5 times as popular, depending on the day that you look at the stats, as the Witch is, or the Night Witch, excuse me, inside the meta. Which begs the question, now that the Witch has a skeleton spawn, she's pretty much as complex a unit as the Witch is. And the reason I say that is because Supercell in the past has said that just because one card is legendary and one card is epic and rare and common doesn't mean they ought to be more powerful, or they should be more powerful. They should just be more complex. But in my mind, the complexity of the two cards, Night Witch and Witch, are relatively the same. You can say that the Night Witch spawns air units, which makes her a little bit more interesting, but at the same time, there's now a death spawn on the Witch as well. But either way, it does kind of beg the question, which one of these witches, which witch is which? Which one of these witches is legendary, and which one is epic? Because it certainly feels right now that the Witch, the regular Witch, is more legendary and certainly more powerful than the Night Witch. So does the Night Witch need a buff? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. And the reason I say that is because, listen, I've been doing this for 3+ years, giving my balance change wish list here on the channel, and I've learned something, that when you just constantly pick the worst cards in the game to buff and the best cards in the game to nerf, the meta doesn't really shift anywhere that's compelling, that's interesting, that freshens up the game. So I actually responded to a tweet by Oxalate recently, and I shared my opinion on this. 3 cards that aren't weak. I'm not saying these cards are the weakest cards in the game. There's more deserving cards, a la the Bomber, right, that could deserve buffs, and you can argue that they should be buffed as well. But 3 cards that I would like to see included in those buffs are, 1, Magic Archer right on cue. Because I think that Magic Archer, when he is good, when he is like he was before the original nerf, I think is a really interesting and relatively higher skill cap card, right? And then the Night Witch is another card I think is pretty interesting, as long as she's not like when she entered into the game with spawning bats like every half second and then death spawn 4 bats. As long as she's not that OP, I don't see a problem with buffing the Night Witch as well. And third on the list is Goblin Giant. Goblin Giant is viable mainly just in Sparky decks. I would like to see what a meta using Goblin Giant would look like without just always having to have him paired with Sparky. So those are 3 cards that I think could use a buff, and probably, honestly, I know it's gonna probably upset some viewers, and a lot of viewers will probably be happy about it, but I do think that the Witch is a bit too strong right now. I mean, her win rates are creeping up to 60%, which is pretty high, and her use rates, as you guys saw, over 20% for a support card. That's pretty dramatic. So I would like to probably see a nerf on the Witch and a buff on the Night Witch to make those rarities kind of even out a little bit more. Maybe I'll play on that on the thumbnail today, where I make a Witch being the legendary card and a Night Witch being an epic, because it just feels that way. So anyway, back to this deck here, guys. This is a Golem deck that, again, is making its round right now. It's using the Witch and also the Goblin Hut. We'll talk more about it when Monkees plays, because this is the conclusion of this match here. And this was the first time, I'm not sure if Morten invented the deck, but this is the first time that I saw it in competitive play. Anyway, let's go ahead and join Monkees, and I'll talk a little bit about the deck and how it differentiates itself from other Golem decks. Alright guys, here we are, joined by Monkees. He's live right now inside a match. A little bit late, I apologize. We're going against Dynamite here on top ladder. And Monkees, traditionally, normally, he plays the Night Witch version of the Golem Lumberjack deck. But this time, he switched it up, and he says he just loves this deck. And he said the Witch, in his opinion, is, I think he said disgusting. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think he said it's just disgustingly strong right now. So we bait out a poison there, and he drops the Golem way in the back in the right-hand lane. Now, the first thing you need to know when you go to pick this deck up is you play it way more passively. We're going against a really strange Golem Poison Zap Miner deck, and he's using the Night Witch. So here it is, the battle of the two sisters. This is gonna prove, right, once and for all, whoever wins this match, obviously, that will make the case on which card is stronger. Look at all those skeletons eating up that Golem on Monkees' end of the arena. Meanwhile, our Golem gets to the tower and the death damage, so not too shabby a start here if you're Monkees. So like I was saying, guys, this deck, even compared to normal Golem decks, you want to be playing this super passively. It has some bait elements to it because they can use their fireball or their poison on the Goblin Hut. They can use it on the Witch or their lightning. They can use it on the E-Wiz. They can even use it on the Mega Minion. So there's a little bit of bait there, and look at how much damage we got. It just unbelievable. That Witch, I didn't even notice. I was too busy blabbing. Got the tower down to all the way down to 248 with the raged up skeletons. Insane, man. And now we stop this. What a Golem? What? Excuse me. We are top 100 ladder right now. I just want to clarify that. But we're going against a Golem Giant deck? Okay, this has got to be a joke here. This is a joke. I was gonna only plan on doing one live match and then just getting to my live gameplay and making this a relatively short video because I really wanted to talk mainly about balance and then the deck is secondary. But I have to show another live match for Monkees. I'm gonna ask him if he wants to go into another one because this is kind of weird, a very strange deck. I guess he's trying to get split lane pushes. Now Monkees is dabbing on the poor guy. Just trying something different, Monkees. Leave him alone, man. That's a 3 crown. Let's go into the next match. I'll talk a little bit about deck strategy and then we'll hop into a live ourselves. All right, guys, here we go into another match against Daniel Swiss. Hopefully this is a little bit more of a normal deck. You don't really see the Golem Giant decks going around too much. You know, even it's mid-season right now, but top of ladder with Golem Giant, that's pretty crazy. And Miner, too. We have the 3-tank special going on over there. So starting out plays with this deck, obviously Goblin Hut's going to be your bread and butter. But again, like I was saying, very passive. This is a deck where you are just biding your time to get to double elixir time, and then you can really work around their big spells and execute a huge push behind that Golem. So that's what you want to do. Another Giant deck, but this looks like a more traditional Giant deck, and let me guess, it's probably going to include the Witch again. We'll see. I have Final Form, by the way, coming on the channel soon to talk about his favorite Giant Witch deck. And by the way, maybe it's not a Witch deck. It's an E-Drag in Prince deck. Very interesting. Meanwhile, our Witch is doing some work against this Giant here. Her skeletons are not really piling up there. I'm not sure if the opponent used a spell or I just missed some. Either way, we will get a lot of damage onto his tower. He'll get a lot onto ours as well, but most importantly, we take care of that Prince, and then our Mega Minion is actually going to lock onto the tower. A Zap comes down. We have a Lumberjack going down the lane. He has nothing for the Lumberjack. A really nice heads up and aggressive play by Monkees, which we're used to, right? To get that tower down, just having the wherewithal that the opponent just overcommitted a little bit on that offensive sequence, and then he's able to take down the tower just like that. He's playing the Boss Hay deck actually right now, Daniel Swiss is. And hey, but what is this? Halfway through the match, a little bit more than halfway through the match here. Things are looking pretty good. All we really have to do is defend in this deck. If there's one thing it's good at, it's defending. We have the hut here to pull this Giant, and let's see what he does here. He plays the E-Wiz. I guess he's gonna just chill here for a second. He plays the Witch right next to the E-Wiz. Interesting. That's a good fireball value and log for the opponent. Interesting that Monkees went with the, I guess he's gonna go with the goal. Okay, that makes sense. Now it's all coming together. He played the Witch opposite lane there. Even though the fireball came down, he had enough elixir to save up for the Golem there. Now we have a Lumberjack on the tower again. We have a Mega Minion on that E-Drag, and the E-Drag is gonna be down. Golem is raged up on that tower. Takes all the way down to 114.75, and the tower is down. 26 seconds left here, guys, in the match. Things are looking pretty good here for Monkees, I would say. He did give up that right tower, but he tower trades there, takes the left down. He actually doesn't have a ton of HP on his king tower, but the nice defense out of the Witch here ought to clean things up very nicely, and it does. And there it goes. GG, 2 in a row there for Monkees. This time, no wizard dabs, just the well played. Can't get that 3 crown, though, like the last match. Let's go ahead and hop into the arena ourselves, guys. All right, so it is my turn to play the deck here. I'm ready to go, and we'll rock and roll. See what we can do here with the deck. Again, as I told you guys before, really important to take it very slow with this deck. It's even more passive in single elixir than your typical Golem deck. We'll give the Inferno Tower good luck charm and see what we can do here. Sorry, somebody said in one of my last videos that I need to like turn my hat backwards when I go live, because you can only see the brim of my hat, and that's kind of annoying to some people. I guess we're going to go, kind of hesitated there. Same lane with Mega Minion. We'll save our poison. And going to try to redirect this Mega Minion or this Wizard before he gets to the Mega Minion. That works out. Does get 1 hit. That's fine. We're just going to Goblin Hut here. Leaked a little bit of elixir. And all we've seen so far is Wizard. We don't get that hit with the Mega Minion. Darn. So we fireballs there. That gives us clearance to play the Witch in the back. Now, depending on what he does here, I could Golem at the bridge. It's really a double elixir. Like, what did I just tell you guys? Be very passive with this deck, and here I am Goleming at the bridge. But he played Valkyrie in front of the Golem, and he didn't have the fireball, so it was worth a try. We don't have E-Wiz or anything like on the board right now, so I'm just going to kind of play defensively. I am going to go ahead and Barb Barrel here, try to keep this Witch alive. I don't know if I can. No, I can, unfortunately. He's playing Dark Prince and Valkyrie. Definitely not what we're looking for in this matchup. And Wizard. A lot of splash damage for our deck to contend with here. So we're going to be forced to respond with... I'm actually going to save... Okay, that's not good. I'm going to play E-Wiz and the Lumberjack there. Hold that Hog to 2 hits. Now we'll have, let's see, he's going to have to respond. He has, what, Valkyrie in hand again? Ooh, he went a little bit aggressive there. And it's going to cost him almost the tower. Wow. Okay, I'll take it. I'm just going to kind of reload with a Goblin Hut here. Again, if they're using their spell on your Goblin Hut, it's usually a good sign with this deck. And we're just going to play a Mega Minion high here again. He's probably trying to cycle, I assume. He still doesn't have Fireball in hand, but I'm just going to kind of play a Golem in the back because we already have that Hut down to tank for the Hog Rider. I'm going to Lumberjack here, right lane. Now he has Fireball back in hand here, but, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Witch in the opposite lane, see if I can get a Fireball out of him here or something. He's going to actually NATO. He has NATO too. Okay. Interesting. So we can let that Golem do his thing. No, he can't. Totally forgot this guy had Inferno Tower. It's okay, though, because Poison's going to finish this off here. There we go. That over there. He's waiting for the Fireball. There it is. Now we can drop the Lumberjack. And, you know, relatively easy here, guys. He doesn't have Fireball in hand, so we're just going to put a ton of pressure on the left, even with that Dark Prince, and there we go. So, hey, not too bad, right? I mean, we're not super high in trophies here. It's still mid-season, but I like the deck. I like the deck. I hope that you guys do too. Remember, play very passively. If you're losing with this deck, you pick it up. By the way, just a heads up, I played the deck last night a little bit. I lost a lot with it, and then I played way more passively. Like, I'm talking way more passively, even than a normal Golem deck. and waited till double elixir time, and then I started to have success with it. So hopefully you guys will as well. It's really going around, as I said earlier. Night Witch or Witch, which one is legendary? I have no idea. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does Night Witch really need a buff? Let me know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Check out Monkees player stats and profile along with Morten, all in the show notes below for you guys. Thanks to Stats Royale, my YouTube partner, along with Bren Chong. Check out his information as well. Guys, thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.